The coronavirus does suck, but how can we still thrive and not just survive through all this? Gang, today I want to talk about motivation. This is a really hard topic for me to talk about because I struggled with motivation and still struggle with it even up to this point. And about 2 weeks ago, I found out I have ADHD. So for people who do have ADHD, motivation is really critical and really important because either we're super obsessed with something and we just double down, focus on just that one thing and ignore everything else, or we can't seem to sit still and focus because we're taking in a lot of information and we always need that rush. So what I want to talk about is dopamine. It's super, super critical. Without getting too nerdy, basically dopamine is a neurotransmitter. It does a lot of things, which includes motivation. It's our reward neurotransmitter. So for example, when you get that promotion and you get that excitement and that rush and you feel great, dopamine is playing a major role. Or imagine, for example, a relationship starting to get really, really boring because everything is repetitive. Everything is the same. You've had the same conversations for the millionth time, and maybe your partner has told you the same joke for the millionth time, and it's just not funny anymore. Dopamine plays a role because the same experiences don't give us the same rush. And with an ADHD brain, we starve for it. So I've had, addictions to scrolling through TikTok, through YouTube, avoiding emails I have to do, avoiding having hard conversations. I'm smiling, but it's hard. It's hard sitting on a couch, trapped on my phone for an hour and a half, 3 hours on the computer on YouTube, because I need to just do 10 minutes of work I'm not looking forward to. And the thing with people who have particular ADHD is trying to force ourselves, or having especially someone else force us to do something we're not motivated. It's like a death sentence. It's like the life is being sucked out of you. So I've been focusing that ADHD is a superpower and I need to just direct it. I need to learn to hack it. So here are 3 things I've done to help me stay motivated and engaged. So here are 3 things you can do to hack motivation. The first one is break it down into micro tasks. So one of the things that happens to me, which also doesn't help with motivation, is I can get anxious and overwhelmed by having to tackle a major task. Because for me, all the planning that has to happen, with an ADHD brain, it gets confusing. It gets foggy. Organizing thoughts is hard for me. How would I do that if I have to go through our website and spend 2 or 3 hours looking for bugs and problems with registration? It's just torture for me to imagine this. So the way I've done it is, okay, can I just do 2 minutes? Can I just do 2 minutes and then feel good about myself? Just 2 minutes. Because I know that also, if I just do 2 minutes, I'm going to get obsessed about it. At some point, I'm like, oh my God. And then you start to lose yourself to the flow. So chunk it. What you need to do is simplify it into micro tasks, little things, and let those little things be reward in itself. The second thing is make it a game. I love games. I love video games. And with an ADHD brain, video games is something that's easy for me to get obsessed about because there's reward. Like I could be killing the same monster, looks the same, but if I know that they were level 20 when I was fighting them and now they're level 28, it's still fun because that dopamine rush is now. So the way I hack it, for example, is I need to drink 3.5 liters of water every day. And what I do, wait for it, is I've set up 10 loonies. 10 loonies like this. And every time I drink a glass of water, I slide it across the counter. Now I gotta drink, each loonie is 10 ounces. So each loonie is 10 ounces, or 1 cup of water. And what I do is I slide the first 10 loonies. So I got literally 10 loonies on the table right now. And then the last 2 are toonies. I wanna get to the toonies because it just feels so good for those last 2 toonies to slide them, and that's the 12 ounces, 120 ounces. Each glass is 10 ounces, so 3.5 liters. What I'm trying to say is I've hacked my motivation by creating a game, something fun, and it could be anything. And as basic as you think it is, it works. It works. Now, I also realize that at some point I'm going to get bored of it and I'm going to have to switch it up. It's okay. Then I create a new game. So the second thing is make it some kind of game. Give yourself reward by making it a game. And 3, realize that motivation can only go so far. And I'm realizing it too. Discipline is the last part. Discipline is the last part because today when I woke up in the morning at 7 a.m., I don't have to wake up at 7. I can set my own schedule. But I promised myself I'd wake up, work out, go on Omegle, make people smile, and all these things. And honestly, when I woke up at 7 a.m., I was exhausted, I did not sleep well, and I wanted to hit the snooze and go back to sleep. And I didn't trust myself, so I literally got out of bed and I sat on the couch right to my right side. And it's 7:08, and I'm like about to cry how tired I am. And I'm just imagining putting my head down. But at 7:21, 7:23, 3 minutes a little bit later than I'm supposed to work out, but I started to do the workout. I started to gain momentum. Here's what I've learned about discipline. In the moments when you're not motivated, discipline will help you get through it. And that's a muscle. See, things that we really, really, really care about that are actually important, we commit to do them long after that motivation has left. Because motivation is short. And yeah, there are short-term hacks. But the real thing you want to address is discipline. And guess what? Next video next week, stay tuned because I'm going to talk about ADHD brain and discipline. I can't wait to share that with you because this is just a small tease. I love you so much, gang. I hope this brought you some value. So the 3 things you want to do is 1, micro chunk your tasks. 2, make it micro games with micro coins. And 3, accept that motivation will only get you so far and discipline will fill in majority of your days when you're not motivated to do the things you said were important to you. I love you, gang. I'll see you in our next video.